The holiday weekend now over for hospitals around the valley. The next several weeks could be significant. Channel 5's Monica de Anda tells us how one hospital prepares for another potential spike in COVID-19 cases.
Hopefully people using their mask, heeding the warnings.
Dr. Robert Martinez, Chief Physician Executive at DHR Health, says their team is cautiously optimistic following the Labor Day weekend. But they won't know the impact of this holiday for another 3 to 6 weeks. Memories of how the hospital looked just 2 months ago, still vivid.
I want to say we got close to about 230 or 40 COVID patients at one time that were admitted here in all units. We saw, that particular week in July, 4 to 5-fold increase in the number of admissions, which is where we started to get really very concerned about our capacity.
Right now, that number is down to about 50 patients. And according to the Texas Department of State Health Services, the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in Hidalgo County is trending downward, with an average of 169 people testing positive since the start of this month. But healthcare professionals are watching that curve closely, with plans in place for multiple scenarios of a spike.
We think we're ready. Certainly, we've learned some things about what we need and how fast we need it, depending on what the issue we're seeing is, whether it's an influx of emergency room patients or it's an influx of ICU patients requiring intubation and mechanical ventilation.
On Friday, DHR Health said goodbye to some of their out-of-state nurses who have been helping care for COVID-19 patients for months. But even without them, Martinez doesn't think manpower will be an issue.
But really, we've only released about 25% of our staffing that we were being helped and supplemented with, because of the fear of two things. So we're the, hospital that has the most COVID beds, and so could get potentially the most COVID patients, number one. Number two, that we need to be able to wait a couple of weeks before we start moving too many people.
Martinez says although they're noticing a downward trend and discharging more patients, they're playing it safe to ensure the community has the resources needed. Monica de Anda, Channel 5 News at 10.